Welcome to Strategy and Tea, episode 18. Our guest today is Annick Bissainthe. She's an SEO expert and the founder of MSI Digital, which started as a blog and now is an agency that helps entrepreneurs to get more web traffic without ads while generating sales. She's going to share with us how SEO can help you as an online course creator. So let's dive in.
Hey, thank you so much for the introduction, Remy.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for
Hi,
accepting the invitation.
thank you for thinking about me. And then, yeah, I'm really happy to be here and do this live.
Cool. So, please tell us about your story and how you got involved in SEO.
Yes, okay. So, like you said, it started as a blog before, and I was actually working in a law firm. And I didn't like it, so I decided to just quit. And I was lucky enough, I was still at my parents' house. So it's really back in 2014, like a long time ago. And so I started a blog just like that. It was kind of like the trend in Montreal, and I also worked for a blog at the time, but I didn't like their topic, what they were talking writing about. So I decided to start my own blog, and then I did my website. And as I go, I kept learning about how to do like a blog actually, and then that's how I ended up knowing about SEO because nobody was reading my articles, and I was like, I have to advertise and market my articles out there. And because I was taking a lot of my research papers and then just publish them online, and that's how I figured like it was too long. People were like, I really learned about content marketing, and then that's how I learned also about SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization, and Google at the time was already like popular. So it was pretty new. I really regret sometimes that I didn't push it more at the time, because now after like 8 years, I would have been like such a like I would just take over the take over Google at the time. But then I was learning, so it was mostly my guinea pig. And so that's how I learned about SEO. And I was like, oh, I like that. And I applied for a job at Yellow Pages. I got the job. I still waited a year because my resume was just lost in the, in the database. And so they called me, and then I worked in SEO. And at the time, I had to remove my law firm experience because it was my first professional experience. So I had to remove it because it was just not related to what I wanted to do. So I put the blog as a work experience. And also, like, I was doing a little bit of volunteer work, and then that's how I got the job. And I started SEO, and my career has been in SEO since then. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, and I imagine that back then in 2014 was really different to
Yeah.
SEO now. And I
Yeah.
love how you were experimenting because that's the one of the best way to learn, just by
Mhm.
trying and testing, and that's so amazing. Okay, so in your opinion, how SEO can help specifically online course creators?
Definitely. Well, SEO, as long as you really have to think about SEO as something that can just mix with so many other things. Basically, as long as there is content and you can write content and you can include the keywords. So basically, SEO, the basic way to explain it is to include keywords within your content, and the content has to be a writing piece, because Google is not yet. I don't want to say super smart, because they got super smart since 2014, but they're not yet able to read or to scroll an audio format, for example. Like if you have a YouTube video that's optimized, it's because its description has the keywords. So you still need a writing piece to include these keywords. So it can help online course creators, because as they have their course, it's a writing piece, so they can include keywords in it. Um, so basically, it's really good to market your course out there, and you do it organically. So SEO is really organically, meaning that you don't pay for ads, so you don't have to pay for Google. If you pay someone to do the SEO for you, it's like you're basically paying them for their work, their job, but you're not paying like the platform to publish for you or to market your content. So it can help creators really to also build that authority in the industry that they're doing. Like if you have a course on X thing, like for example, it could be on fitness. So you want to just put content out there and just be the leader so people can know that this is what you're doing. So SEO can help with that because the keywords are going to be really targeted. So it's really great for this. And basically content creators, like especially for courses, that's mostly how it can help. And also the most important part with the technical part, it's the platform. So it's important to check the platform that you'll be using. Like it has to be SEO friendly. For example, some platforms might not give you the options to write the meta titles, the description, and titles and description are basically what you see on Google. I can't share my screen. Oh, I actually can share my screen.
I'm not sure about that, but let's see.
We can try if you want, but it seems that I can share my screen so I can show exactly what's the meta title and description. I'll click on share and see what it does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Do you see my screen? Do you see
Yeah.
us?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Okay, great.
I can. Okay. One sec. We move here and this. Now.
Are you seeing the Google page? What are you seeing here right
Yes.
now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. That's so cool. So basically, I just put SEO in Montreal. That's where I'm at now. And let's just grab. Okay, wait. No, let's not do this. Of course, computer. Okay, perfect. So let's say I'm taking this one. Like the beginning, it's my computer's in French. So the beginning, it's all ads. So that's the Google ads. So that's not SEO. SEO really starts from here, and wherever it's not written ad, and there are like 10 searches per page. So basically, when the title, it's this. That's where you can put your keywords, and also the description of the page. When we call meta title, that's what it is. Meta description, that's where it is. So you can include your keywords in there as well. So basically, it's like really going into the backend, and the robots are going to check your web pages and crawl all the keywords and make sure that you basically will be optimized. So that's the reason why it's important to take a platform that's already SEO friendly. If not, then the robots are not going to be able to read your content and get the keywords. Then you're gonna have to create a new website and then put the content in there. And so you don't want to go into that extra mile. So it's really good to check if your platform is SEO friendly. So just make sure that the platform you use, you have the section that says SEO, basically.
Amazing. Yeah, and this is a great tip for
Mhm.
course creators so they can check it or just make sure like they can contact their the support of the platform that they are using
Yeah,
and ask them where I can find this specific element that I am going to check. So amazing. Okay,
exactly.
so what would you say is the biggest struggle that your customers have to address around SEO?
Well, the thing is that, especially coming from SEO since 2014, it's still the same struggle. It's so funny. It's for people to understand SEO. Because it's different. It's organic and it's a long process. It's not something like you have an ad and then you just pay an amount of money and then you get clicks back. So SEO, you can have different objective. It could be, for example, like to get more traffic on your website or in your content. It could also be to rank for more keywords. It could be for so many things. So it's hard to explain that to some clients because it's not physical, it's not concrete, and also they have the mentality of like the business mentality to like at a certain level that it makes it hard to explain them. They're like, what's my return of investment? But we're still working on that part, like how to make SEO a little bit concrete, more concrete than what it is. But clients have just a hard time being like, okay, I'm just paying you, and like you're not having an impact on my budget, for example, like on my profit. So the way they see it is like, I pay you and you should bring me more clients. But at the same time, the main objective of SEO is really to put awareness first out there. Like it's great to start with SEO and then after you can do other marketing things, because if you don't do the SEO, then it's going to have an impact on your other marketing. Like if you start doing Facebook ads without the SEO, nobody knows you, so they won't click on your ads. So that's really hard to explain that to clients because they I think also where I'm at, like in Montreal, maybe it's a North American mentality. They're very much into like, I want to have a budget and I want to see what that budget brings me back. But
Mhm.
we're still working on that. A lot of SEO experts like to maybe quantify the traffic and it's really difficult. So it's really hard to explain that to clients.
Mm.
They especially there's some clients that are very difficult for that.
Yeah. This connected with when you want this business or this project to be for the long term, because it's something that you are investing now and getting the
Yeah,
results in the long term. So
exactly.
it's not something like immediate, but it's working for you for the long run. So, but yeah, I
Yeah.
understand that for some people they want to get the results just now, but
Yes. Yes.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly it. For sure, after like 8 years, we do have, like, especially me, I do have some processes that I know it's gonna work. Like, we can
Yeah.
have a template of stuff, but it depends on the industry and it also depends on the competitor. That's what we don't have control
Mhm.
over because if you have more competitors than yesterday, then it's a whole different story. We have to change the
Yeah.
strategy again.
Yeah. Um, what is the your number one recommendation for your clients?
To understand that they will be part of that process because that's not a challenge. They're like, okay, I'm just giving her the job and she does everything and I want results. So SEO, it's really like you're collaborating with the SEO expert. And for example, like they need to understand what it is. It has to be at a certain basic. It doesn't have to be like technical 100% because SEO can be very technical after when you deal with the robots in the back end. But clients really need to understand that it's a process that have to be involved. So the expectations needs to be set right in the beginning. So if they're not 100% available for it, they're not yet ready, like don't start SEO yet. At least have a 10% um, like a little space in your time to give when you start doing SEO, especially in the beginning. And after that, it just runs by itself.
Yeah, yeah. You need to learn the basics for
Mhm.
implementing them in every content that you
Exactly.
create and all that. Yeah, for sure. Um,
Exactly.
so if someone is just starting now, where you should recommend, where should they start?
Where should I start? What exactly do you mean? Like start with the SEO, like if they do it
Yeah,
on
let's
their own
say
or?
they have a website, but they didn't pay attention to any SEO. So, uh, how do you recommend to start? Like, for which could be changing the titles or could be making a keyword research? Where is the first step that you would say?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it will be keyword research. It's really to first check for the keywords. And right now, I'm actually working on providing a list of keyword research per industry. So this is something that's going to be available soon. So that would be great for
Cool.
entrepreneurs on their own. So it's really to do the keyword research, but first to understand the competitors. And also to understand that the competitor, like basically, it's your online competitor on the Google page when you type the keyword. So yeah, it would be just that's where it would be best to start. And then after once you have your keywords, you can put it in the title and the description and then within your content as well.
Perfect. Thank you. So now a last question. So what is the compliment from a client that has touched you the most?
That I was patient. That I was patient because the struggle that I was explaining before some clients. So for example, like if they don't understand what it is, you know how a client can be frustrated because they don't understand what you're doing and they're paying you.
Yeah.
So that can go really the wrong way. They can start yelling.
Yeah.
So after finally when they saw the results, they were like, okay, you're very patient. And I also had a lot of clients, for example, when I was working back in agencies, I was taking over accounts. And let's say the person before just did not do the work perfectly. So the traffic was just dropping. So I was the one getting all the
Yeah.
yelling and stuff. So I think we have to be very patient when we are SEO experts,
Yeah.
and also to really like be able to teach to your client what you're doing because it will avoid so many things like frustrations and having a better communication. So yeah.
Yeah. In any business relationship, communication is so important.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, it's not going to work. So yeah.
Mhm.
So please tell the audience how they can connect with you.
Yes, so they can find me on my social interest with the S underscore digital. So that's my Instagram. And also my website is my social interest.ca. So pretty much I have everything on my Instagram page once they click on the link in the bio. So they can find me here, or there's my email as well, info@mysocialinterest.ca. So yeah, I'm pretty much online. I have to.
Amazing. Okay, so thank you, Annie, for sharing your expertise with us. I really appreciate that you give us the opportunity to learn more about SEO.
Thanks to you for inviting me. It was a great pleasure.
Okay, and that's it for today. Thank you for watching and see you soon. Bye.
Bye.